just wanted to get ready, show up, marry my man, party, and get out. That's all I wanted to do. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm sharing with you all a recreation of my wedding day makeup. I wanted to share with you guys this makeup look. I also shared just a few tips of wedding planning and other things that I did that helped my wedding process much easier. I hope you guys enjoy this makeup tutorial. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you can stay tuned with all the other videos that I'm going to post. Yeah, so let's get started with this wedding day makeup tutorial. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm doing is my eyebrows. I just use my concealer, which is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade Light, and I just use this to carve out my brows, and then I go ahead and do my eyebrows. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend all of this out and drag anything down to my eyelid for eyeshadow base and primer. For brows, I use my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade number 4. I used this for my wedding day because it was much easier to apply, and also because the shade is a lot darker. Okay, so tip number 1 that I would give for your wedding day, if you're doing your own makeup, the one thing that I did notice in some of the photos that we got back was some of the parts of my eyebrows are missing. You want to make sure you take your time in filling out your eyebrows. Look at all the angles. Make sure that at every angle, every part of your eyebrow is really colored in. So you want to make sure that at every angle, you're ready. I mean, these are things that you notice as a bride. It's not like, you know, it's not a big deal. I don't want to sound like a little brat, but it's nothing, you know, Facetune can't fix. And like, nobody really notices that stuff if you're not into makeup. So I only noticed it because, you know, I did my makeup and I was very critical of my makeup. So brows are done. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to prepping the face. So I did have a freshly washed and cleaned face when I started my makeup. First thing that I did was moisturize my skin, and I used this Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizing gel. This is the gel and moisturizer that I use all the time. Literally I've been using it for a very long time, so this is just the one that I stuck with for the wedding day because I didn't want to try anything new. For the skin, I went ahead and used MAC Strobe Cream, and I just used this cream hydrant because I knew that I was going to have a very matte face because I have oily skin, so I knew that I was going to really pack my face with powder since, you know, I wanted my makeup to last and I didn't want to get oily. So I just used this strobe cream to give me that like radiant glow from within because I knew I was going to go ham with the powder. So once the face is kind of already prepped, we're going to go in with eyeshadow, and the eyeshadow palette that I used was the Jaclyn Hill palette. The first shadow that I used was this shadow right here. This is in the shade Silk Creme, and I just placed this on my MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to be using that to really place it all over my crease. This was just like my transition shade. Now you really want to take your time blending these shadows because, you know, you want to make sure you have like that effortless blend in photos. I would say another tip that I have if you're getting ready to get married, you want to make sure that you get a day of coordinator. I didn't spend any money on a wedding planner because I felt confident enough to do the wedding planning, like, you know, booking vendors and things like that. But I knew 100% that the day of the wedding, I wanted to do absolutely nothing. Like, I just wanted to get ready, show up, marry my man, party, and get out. That's all I wanted to do because, you know, it's your special day. You do not want to be worrying about details on the day of. That's just not, I knew in my mind, like, that's one thing I was not going to put up with. So I would highly suggest that. It really, really made the night run so much smoother. Like, oh my gosh, it made such a huge difference. Now that that's all blended out, I'm going in with this shade Butter. You definitely do not have to spend like a lot of money on a day of coordinator. You can ask a family friend, someone who you trust, who's detail oriented and who has some kind of like administrative skill to just handle the day of coordination duties, because that just makes such a huge difference. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I would have done if I was in charge of everything, because basically what I did was I told the day of coordinator where all the decor went, and I had specific family members and friends who were responsible for doing the decorations, like placing them where they belong. So the day of coordinator was responsible of telling them where they belong, basically. And they did that, and, you know, the caterers did their job. The day of coordinator makes sure that the caterers and everyone else arrives on time and things like that. So it's just so worth it. I was able to focus on getting ready. I was able to enjoy picture taking and just, you know, enjoying my guests, our guests. So it was just so worth it. That's definitely one tip that I would say everyone needs. It doesn't matter how big or small your wedding is. You do not want to be doing any day of duties. All you want to do is enjoy your day, get ready, enjoy being a bride because it never happens again in the name of Jesus. And yeah, you just want to make sure that you're available for that. And I am making the outer corner just a bit more dark than any other part of the eye because that's where the dimension is going to be created, is by beginning to warm up the outer corner of the eye more than any other part of the eye. Now I'm going to be going in with the shade Pooter, and I'm using my Morphe M431 brush, and this is just a more precise brush to really place that darker shade. Now we're going to go in with a more chocolatey shade, and this is the shade Mocha, starting on the outer part of the eye because that's like the darkest part that we want to create that dimension with, and then I'm just dragging any other product onto the crease. So now that I feel like the eyes are pretty bronzed out, I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease with my concealer, and I'm just doing a half cut crease. And this isn't for anything but a dramatic effect because I don't have lid space like that, so I need to create it. That crease is cut. I'm going to go ahead and set it with some translucent powder so it doesn't transfer over. It doesn't have to be a super precise cut because all it's for is to just show you where to place the shimmery shade. So now that the crease is cut, we're going to go ahead and really smoke out the outer part of the eye to give us that dimension that we want. So I'm going to go with that dark shade that we used already, the mocha color, and I'm going to begin to just put that on the outer part of the eye to really just smoke it all out. Then we're going to go in with this black shade that's here, and it's called Abyss. And now I'm going to use this to place on the really outer part of the eye, like the very, I'm going to begin on the liner and then just create like an open triangle shape on the outer part. And then I'm just going to be blending this all out to give me that dimension that I want. Ooh yeah, that's the smoke. That's the bridal smoke right there. That's the bridal, like, I'm ready to get married kind of eye. This is like the traditional classic wedding makeup. Next I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called In Light, and it's just that nice champagne-y white shade. So I'm going to pack it onto a flat shader brush, and of course I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus to give me that shimmer. And we're going to place it basically everywhere we put that concealer. And for this shadow, I did have to work in sections because I don't know why. I guess that's just how the shadow is. I'm going to go back in with one of the lightest browns that we started off with, one of the transition color ones, and I'm just going to use that to blend it out here in the outer part of the eye. So all I'm doing is just going side to side to really blend it all out. So for lashes, on the actual wedding day, I actually used Celine lashes. I forgot what style it was, but I'll go ahead and link the website down below where you can purchase them. However, ever since my wedding day, I displaced them, so I don't know where I put them because, you know, that day was pretty crazy. But I'm planning on purchasing a new one soon, but what I'm going to be using for this video is House of Lashes Sephora collection, and these are in the style Natalia. Ooh, I love these lashes. Now, for the face, another tip that I have is if you're planning to do your own makeup for your wedding, definitely ask for samples at Sephora. Don't purchase the full-size foundation if you're not 100% sure that's the one you're going to use. My friend actually gave me this genius idea because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to spend 50 bucks on a foundation. But she was like, no, just get a sample, and then if you like it, ask for another sample at another Sephora or something. Because again, you're only really going to be using this on the day of your wedding, you know, unless you want to keep the foundation, then you can purchase one. But this is just a good alternative if you're planning on doing your makeup. So the foundation that I'm using, or that I used for my wedding day, was the Huda Beauty foundation, and I think it's like the no filter foundation. I'll link it down below. I really love this foundation because it definitely is really good for pictures, and it also gives you a full coverage. Like, It's crazy. This foundation gives you really great coverage. Okay, this is definitely too light for me, but it's because I got tan, so make sure you match your foundation. Okay, so another thing that I would suggest as I'm blending out my foundation is to meet with your DJ ahead of time to go over the playlist, because you want to make sure that they know what music is playing when, and yeah, just being 100% confident in your DJ. We unfortunately weren't able to meet with our DJ ahead of time. We did meet with him wow, yeah, this is way too white for me. I'm gonna go ahead and really bronze it out. So we weren't able to meet with our DJ ahead of time to go over the playlist, and we just sent him the playlist via email and the timeline of when certain songs will be playing, but that was not enough because there was still some confusion in terms of like music to be played. So make sure you meet with your DJ so there's no surprises. This foundation right now is too white for me because I went to my honeymoon and you know, I got tan and I was much lighter on our wedding day, and this is just the sample that I have, but we're gonna try to make it work. Okay, I know I look like a ghost, but it's okay, we're gonna make it work. Now we're gonna go ahead and go in with concealer, and I'm using my Shape Tape concealer by Tarte. This is in the shade Light. It's the concealer that I've been using for everything. I actually had to repurchase it because I was using another concealer, but I really wanted to use this one for the wedding day. Another thing that I'm very, very happy that I did for my wedding day is I'm really happy that I gave my phone to someone else, because I didn't feel like I was missing out. I had my friend Marge. If you guys don't follow her, you can definitely check her out. She's another fellow influencer and blogger. I gave her my phone and I basically just let her take control of the day and like record and post and all that, because I didn't, you know, as someone who is into social media and who does social media, like I knew I wanted to capture my special day on social media for people who couldn't make it, or you know, for you guys and for my followers, but obviously I didn't want to be the one doing it because it's my wedding day. What do I look like walking down the aisle with my camera? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I gave it to her and she captured it so nicely. If you haven't checked it out, you can go to my Instagram and it's under one of my highlights. She also vlogged the wedding as well, so I'll leave that vlog right up here for you. But yeah, that's like something that I would highly suggest, is don't be focused on your phone or responding to people or posting, you know, have that done by someone else, because you really, really want to make sure that you enjoy every moment of your day. I'm just setting up my under eyes with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Now I'm just going to go ahead and bronze up the skin, and I'm using this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Beautifully Bronze. Everything just leading up to the wedding, I was all over. I was so invested in every detail, made sure that the timeline and everything for the day of was just spot on and detailed. I made sure that everybody knew what they were doing, where they were supposed to be at certain times. And you know, it's just important that you work with your day of coordinator to make sure that she understands your vision and knows what's happening. Your day of coordinator should feel like it's her wedding and she's making it happen, you know? So one of the things that really helped, you know, the day go smoothly was having a timeline. When certain things were happening, what everybody was supposed to be doing at certain times, including all of your vendors. Like, what time is your florist coming? What time is the caterers coming? What time is the food going to be served? What time? All of that. Creating a timeline, and then you can give it to whoever's going to be helping you the day of to be the executor of the timelines. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this powder. And I'm going to go ahead and bronze up the face now with powder. And I use my Huda bronzer by Benefit. And it gives that like airbrush bronzy look. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my whole face with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder. And I'm hitting pan on this, and one of my friends just told me that apparently these are no longer sold. And I'm like, this is literally my holy grail powder. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to highlight. The highlight that I used was this Anastasia Amrezy Beverly Hills collab highlighter. I love this highlighter so much. Literally in pictures for the wedding day, this highlighter is perfect. It gave me the glow that I wanted. So I'm just going to place this on the tops of my cheeks. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh, this highlighter is so beautiful. My chin, my cupid's bow, and then my nose, down the bridge of my nose, and then on the tops of my face. Like, this highlighter made my makeup so much nicer. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to blush, and the blush that I used was this blush called Fanciful, and this is by Tarte. This is a very muted blush, so I wanted to use this blush because I didn't want my cheeks to look too rosy in photos. I'd much rather my skin look more neutral and glowy than like pink, you know? So this is the perfect blush if you don't want like rosy cheeks. It gives you just that muted flush color. So yeah, see, it's perfect. It's the perfect blush. It's not like that Barbie pink, it's more so like muted. Okay, so that's basically it for the face. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the eyes, and basically what I just did, I just darkened up the lower lash line. So I just smoked out a little bit under the eyes. So after my under eyes are all smoked out, I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. You guys know that I am such an advocate for mascara on the lower lashes because it makes the world of a difference. I literally feel like I say that every time I apply lower lash mascara, but it just blows me away how much of a difference it really makes. Then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply some of this highlighter that I used for the cheeks in my inner corner, and this is just to give me just a little bit more of that glowy look that I want. Now we're going to move on to the lips, and for lips I use this Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick, and this is in the shade Venus, and I knew I wanted a neutral lip color. I wanted just that neutral color. So while that dries, I'm going to go ahead and spritz my face with my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I love this setting spray. I feel like it just gives the makeup look exactly what it needs for that finish. Now I'm just applying some gloss to the center just to give my lips some dimension. Voila, you're ready to get married. Alright, so I'm ready to get married. That's everything for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. I feel like I'm getting married again. Like, what? Hey! Can you bring me the eyelashes that are on the table? Prep and Prime Fix Plus. Ooh, I just burped a little, but I love to, dang it, I just messed my eyebrow up.